One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR 20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com. One of our favorite sponsors is back. It's springtime and it's time to freshen up that wardrobe that you've had hanging in that dingy old closet all year.
How do you know it's dingy?
Because most closets are dingy. Ain't nobody in the closet doing dusting or vacuuming inside the closet.
My closet's immaculate.
Okay, anyway, you should go to shoptourbus.com and check out what they got.
What they got?
The coolest Grateful Dead inspired merch on the online lot or the regular lot anywhere. You're not going to find cooler stuff. I promise you that.
They make hand-screened apparel and merch inspired by the band beyond description. And it's all uniquely packaged and shipped with love from Bridgeport, Connecticut. What more could you want?
They're putting together the Dark Star pre-orders right now, and they're being packed with exclusive 5-inch holographic vinyl slabs, bootlegs, pencils, sweet treats, and some magic diamond disco rings. I mean, what's cooler than that? Go to shoptourbus.com or at shoptourbus on Instagram. You'll see what we're talking about. And when you finally purchase something from them and you're checking out, put in the promo code No Simple Road.
No Simple Road, all one word.
And you are going to get free shipping from their family to our family to you, from us and them, all of us together doing something cool. Shoptourbus.com.
Act quickly.
So next weekend on Friday, we're going to be going to see Phish up at Climate Pledge Arena. And I've never been to Climate Pledge before. And there's lots of things that I want to know about Climate Pledge, but I don't want to ask like some dusty ass wook day of the show out in Pike's Place Market.
First thing I know about Climate Pledge Arena is that they've got a dope coffee shop right next to it.
Well,
KXEP,
if
right
you
there.
knew that, you could go to venuelama.com and you could put that into the Llama base. So this is called venuelama.com. It's an online resource that provides live music fans the insider venue info they need. It's a place where fans can quickly rate venues and share various tips and intel about those venues. Like, I don't know, help me out.
How the security is something I always think about.
That's a biggie.
Where's the closest bathroom?
What's the bathroom sitch like?
Yeah.
What's the parking situation like?
That's another big one. That's the I don't want to ask the Dusty Wook in Pike's Place Market about the parking. They're gonna be like, I don't know, man.
I don't got a car,
$5.
man.
Exactly. Can I borrow yours? Head over to venuelama.com. That's VENUELLAMA.com to sign up for your free Llama account and start rating and sharing your insider venue info today. Llamas can also list their favorite scene-friendly businesses, websites, or podcasts on the VL Friends page. Venue Llama is currently compiling its Llama base with as much helpful information as possible on venues for the following upcoming tours: Dead Company, Phish, Widespread Panic, Billy Strings, and Goose. Head over, check out the exclusive beta version of Venue Llama today at venuelama.com/NSR. That's VENUELLAMA.com/NSR.
I'm a llama.
No, you're not. we're sitting here looking at the specials for Fire on the Mountain, like talking about how awesome all this shit looks, and I'm like, why are we recording this, man? You guys should go over to Fire on the Mountain if you live in Denver or Portland. I'm just saying, now's the time. They just dropped all their specials for this month, and holy shit, man. Just hip them up, Apple.
Yeah, well, at the Fremont location, grilled skirt steak with balsamic reduction and all kinds of other stuff going on. Honey crisp apple fritters with a sugar glaze.
No. Take me to the deep fried thing.
They got a bitchin' salad at Interstate. So many things, you got to look this up. But then here, there is the fried samosa Girl Scout cookies topped with powdered sugar.
Mel?
My favorite Girl Scout cookie. And then you do that deliciousness to it.
Apple said, I'm going to drive over to Jordan's house and punch him in the mouth.
I said punch him. I didn't say the mouth. Oh,
man.
That's rude.
If you weren't hungry before we started talking, you are now. Go check out Fire on the Mountain if you're here in Portland. 3 locations, 2 in Denver. And hey, if you're not over here in one of these places, don't be sad. Go to portlandwings.com. Order yourself some of the sauces. Get yourself
dope merch.
One of their hats, man. I want one of those.
Their socks are dope too.
Yeah, that's true.
I really like the socks. You like the trucker hat, and then they have those dope cups too. They've got the new silly pint.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
because they're silicone pints.
Yeah, silly pint, just in time for spring.
You could drop it on the floor and then it won't break.
Yeah,
those are great camping ones.
And then if you're still hungry after all that, then you can go over to the Burnside location and get a Reuben burger.
Okay,
damn.
So you feel what you picking up what we're putting down? I think you are. Go check out Fire on the Mountain. It is the Grateful Dead family hooking it up and cooking it up.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for Season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple. Check it out.
So it's super loud outside, and then it's like it's outdoor but it's also covered, so the sound is fucking weird as shit. So I could hear like pockets, it would come out like super loud.
This is Billy Strings?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like floating through everything.
Yeah, man, it's fucking wild from outside, but I want to catch him so bad. And we were in New Orleans for New Year's this year, and supposedly they had free tickets on Cash or Trade, and didn't even think to look. Yeah.
Hey now, No Simple
Free
Road family.
tickets.
It's Aaron.
And Mel.
And Apple.
And Joe.
And Joe.
What?
And we're back for the No Simple Road Weekly
Rewind.
Volume 25, produced in collaboration with the Edible Beats out of Denver, Colorado. If you don't know who the Edible Beats is, you should go online and do some research, because you will be greatly rewarded with a company that is changing the way you relate to food, people around you, the world, love, intention, and everything else. You should go check it out.
We're going to be hitting up the Edible Beats this Labor Day Memorial or Labor Day?
Labor Day.
Thank you.
Labor Day 2023. We are going to be at...
Well, we can't announce that.
We're not announcing it,
we
but
have
we're
not
going to be
announced
doing
that
it.
yet, but just know some cool shit's about to happen.
It's popping off.
Yeah, don't you worry about it.
Psyched.
Yeah,
that's right.
Just kidding. Tell you about it later.
We're not just kidding, but we're not going to say it all.
So yeah, we have Joe and Joe here in the No Simple Road
in the house
studio.
That's right.
Literally in the house.
Yeah.
In the house.
So guys,
what's up, family?
What's up?
you drove all the way across the country again.
Yeah.
Wild.
Just to see Phish? Just to come have some quiche?
To see us.
Let's hear why you've driven
why'd you do
all
it?
the way over here.
Because we are moving here.
Whoa! I feel like the applause button should
Hang on,
happen. Yeah.
little pause button.
Okay, there we go. There's the applause button. Woo! Yay!
Hey!
Joe and Joe.
All right.
Moving to
Wow.
Oregon. Everybody in Oregon. That's you clapping.
Okay, so I wonder,
Welcome to Portlandia.
why not Idaho or, Arkansas or Texas or whatever? Why come to the beautiful Pacific Northwest full of lush, gorgeous trees and wildlife?
Where the climate suits your clothes.
Why would you possibly move here?
I feel like we'll probably have different answers, but then the same answer at the same time. Like, we decided a lot of decisions while being here. And so it feels like such an important place to come back to.
So wait, just to give everybody listening context, Joe and Joe, before they hit the road 3 years ago, right?
3 years?
3 years?
We're in 2023. Two. Okay.
2 years ago. One of their first stops was here at this house before they actually hit the road.
That was like, if we could do it then we were like, we could probably figure this out. Yeah.
If we can do it in a Honda Civic, we can do it in a van.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So you made a lot of decisions here. What do you mean?
So I think, like, for our future, I didn't realize that I would live to be as old as I am. And I think it was the first time when we made it out here that I was going to have to live. I had to make a future. All of a sudden, I needed to make a plan because I had no direction. I didn't think I'd be here or be with somebody for a long period of time, and that I had to also consider their life into my life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Two-way street.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm very much so I need to protect me. This is my life. And you're just living in it sometimes because you have to think that way. And that can be a survival tactic.
Yeah.
And I think that was the point where I decided that we were a team.
Well, yeah, you guys got married. I mean, that's as team as it gets.
Yeah.
That's as teamy as it gets.
Today is 6 months.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
Want to try for the applause button
No.
Yeah.
I got it queued up now. We're good.
Cool.
All right.
Yes. Well, actually, that definitely does deserve a round of applause, especially thinking that not now. Again. I'm just saying, according to you, Joe, thinking you weren't going to be here and maybe not even reach all these milestones that you've reached.
Right.
That is a big deal.
Yeah. And
Huge.
I think it's very important that that so much growth happened in one small visit for us, that I can feel that there's a lot of energy here, and I need to learn how to harness that energy that I already have and let that blossom.
Well, I was telling you guys earlier, we just said it in passing while we were eating, but there's, in my experience, there's something about this place that does that particular thing to certain people. I know several people that have had that same experience that you guys had. I had it of I had never been here before. I had never really even thought about Portland as a place to live, I always wanted to move to Seattle. I knew I wanted to be in the Northwest, but I wanted to move to Seattle. And this place did something. When I came through here, just stopped to eat in Eugene, and that did it. I was like, wow, I need to be here. And when I left, before we ever even decided to move, I remember being sad I left here and feeling like I left home. And it was odd for me because me personally, I had never felt at home anywhere because I'd moved around so much as a kid. And that feeling was really alien to me, of like the idea of home and like being proud of where you live and coming from somewhere. And like all that was just alien, and feeling like I missed somewhere that I had never really even been was really weird. And you guys kind of had the same trip, right?
In a way, I'd say coming up in Ohio, for me personally, I think what home means to me now and what it meant to me coming up is a completely different thing. And I didn't even know. There's a lot of things I would say from the difference between where I'm at now and how things were when I was coming up, of thinking I knew what things were. And then as the truth of what those are have been revealed through the past couple years, realizing, first of all, I still probably don't know shit. And
That's true.
but
That's a good thing to know.
yeah, but that then as these things are evolving, they mean something completely different. And to be feeling now, though, that I'm in a place where I belong and where I am at my best self is such a special thing. And I would definitely say we only spent 2 full days out here the last time we came out, and it impacted me. I mean, we've been all over the country, and it impacted me more than any other spot.
Wow.
That's dope.
That says a lot.
That's like Aaron was saying. That's what we did. What was it? It was 2015. We rented a minivan, and the 3 of us and Sydney and Simon we came to scout Seattle because that's where we wanted to move to. Stopped here, and it was a weird night. When we stopped, wasn't that when we were in the hotel and they had the fire alarm thing?
Yeah.
And it was, but we still felt so comfortable. We went to Seattle for several days.
That's 2 separate trips. You're
it?
mashing 2 separate trips together. The first time we came through here on the way to Seattle, we stopped in Slabtown at like a little Holiday Inn, and that's when Sloppy Swish was on the TV.
Okay, all right.
You guys remember?
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
the Saturday Night Live.
That's right. Okay. Anyway, we spent very little time here. It was all about Seattle, and then we all agreed when we got like on the way back to Vegas. Even Simon, it was like Portland. We were all like, Portland is what felt like home, and it was just a little bit of exposure to it.
Have you guys been to a McMenamin's property yet?
Only through door dashing.
Okay.
So you've seen like the artwork and
Yeah.
okay. So no context, didn't know that he was even a thing, right? When we were driving back to Vegas after this trip up to Seattle, we got to Eugene and we were all hungry, and we were looking for a place to pull off the highway to go get something to eat. And we saw McMenamin's and stopped at a McMenamin's in Eugene. And I walked in and there was like Santana posters and Grateful Dead posters and a huge mural of Oregon Country Fair with Jerry and the band, and like I was like, I'm fucking home.
And they were playing Dead music, like the mute, like everything. It was just like, what?
Killer.
Yeah, that really is what did it. Like visiting that property and then that feeling of that, like leaving somewhere that you don't want to ever leave. Was weird.
Exactly. It's just like it blows my mind sometimes that we've been to like
everywhere,
and none of them made me want to stay as bad as the city. Like,
wow.
I have like a one close second, and that just means like,
what is it?
Asheville. It's just this city on the other side, of the country, and the personalities there are of course just a little bit different, but the really reason why I want to be there is because my best friend's there. And like she's like what makes that city special. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this is where I also feel like I could like have a fresh start in a way. Like somehow I feel like I'm being like rebirthed again.
That's what this place did for all
this
of us.
Place it's so green, and the earth is such a part of the personality here. And it is very womb-like, where, you know, coming from Vegas, it was so open. The skies were so open, and it's a very wide city, very expansive. And then you come here and everything is so much more private. The trees really take your eye straight up as opposed to out. And
Exactly.
you feel like, again, more womb-like you're in something, and the greenery and the animals, everything makes you more connected. And I feel like when I first moved here, that's what I noticed, is like this deep connection with nature that I did not get anywhere else. In Vegas, nature is definitely around and abundant because the mountains and everything, but it's naked. Like, the mountains don't have greenery. The ground doesn't have greenery. It's like, you know, it's like
Life is like barely trying to pop through.
yeah, like it's scorched almost, right?
And
We're
what does
here.
live there is harsh.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the insects and the stuff
cactus
that
and-
Exactly.
Everything's like, hey,
That's
So,
how
yeah.
it felt in La Quinta a little bit.
Yeah.
And like the only places you see grass are like these multi-million-dollar places that have a lot of money and somehow are allowed to have sprinklers during the drought. You know what I mean? And, and it's wild to like see. But then like you go into the actual neighborhoods and you just see like literally tumbleweeds for miles.
Mhm. Desert landscape.
That's
Yeah.
Vegas. The prettiest places were the golf courses and the casinos, because they have
Exactly.
all the money and
Exactly.
they bring, you know,
Right.
trees from all over the world and create these fake mirages in the
Yeah.
middle of the desert.
Yeah.
being somewhere that you feel at home is so important to growing. Like, if you don't feel comfortable where you are, it's really hard to have any kind of like roots or
Yeah.
growth in yourself. And it never even occurred to me when I was living there that was an issue, that I felt like floating the whole time.
Right.
Like at any moment could just be moved on a whim.
Temporary.
Yeah. And since we've been here, it's been this feeling of like rootedness, and because of that, all this amazing growth has happened. And I
Yeah.
hope you guys have the same experience, man.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
gonna.
yeah.
They already are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. We've been here a week now, and it's been killer. And from being on the road for a little over 2 years now, it is definitely exciting to be getting into more of a position of stability in terms of having a place to bunker down and get some shit done when the time is to do so. And also just being closer to the West Coast in general. I mean, growing up in Ohio, there was a lot of nature around, so I am very fortunate for that. And like spots like Serpent Mound out in Ohio, that's probably, if Serpent Mound was out here, that would be fucking, you know, the 100% situation.
Right.
But I feel very fortunate to have grown up in spots with a lot of killer nature and spots like that. And then to come out here and have it be expanded by such a large amount has
And you guys
been so restoring,
you
even in
guys-
a week.
how was like growing up, like to us coming from Vegas, never had distinct seasons. How was Ohio? Did you have like distinct 4 seasons?
Yep.
But in
Okay.
like one day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes, yeah.
Threw everything at you.
So like you are up in the morning, like going to like you're like thinking like it's 9 a.m. You're getting ready or whatever. You have to have a winter coat on because there's ice on your car, and then by like 10, you're taking off your coat, and then by like 1, you're like, fuck, I should have worn. Oh, sorry.
No, we curse.
Fuck.
We
gosh,
fucking
Joe.
cuss. Oh,
You're like, I should have worn a short sleeve.
Oh shit.
You know, and
Sounds
then,
like Portland.
yeah.
yeah. You learn all about layers.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
And we're the masters of layers. Like people ask us all the time, like, aren't you cold? And like, no, I feel like if we're cold, then that's like our own fault. We just didn't want to put on our winter coat.
And it's the layer. It's funny to me. It's like you start off big in the morning and you get small throughout the day,
Right,
and then you
exactly.
get bigger again in the evening. You start
Right.
putting it back on.
Yeah.
Like a bear.
Yeah. But if you plan ahead, you're good. You're good. And like we like to hike when it's cold too. Like we don't mind. And
Yeah.
like we just make sure our dogs are okay.
You
You know?
guys are gonna fucking love it here.
Oh yeah.
You will never hike all the trails here. You will never see all the waterfalls here. You will never ever do it all. Like it's infinite.
Yeah.
It's really rad. Like we haven't even really scratched the surface of that shit.
I feel like we're still brand new in comparison to that. Like we really haven't. No Simple Road started just after a year that we've been here, so our weekends are in this home doing this show,
or being at a festival, or shows.
We've been very specific with our time since we've been here. So I mean, it's kind of nice. We're like, I went to Eugene to visit Simon the other day, and we went to this beautiful hike, and he's like, I've never been here, and I'd never been there, and it looked like our backyard, but just bigger and
dope.
amazing.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And something that I thought about before we moved here, and that really did come true, and I already know it's true for you guys, is there's a whole group of friends here that you haven't met yet that are waiting here for you.
I know.
That's
I'm a little
exciting.
nervous.
There's a whole group of people that you're going to be down with that.
I'd say Aaron used to say that on the patio when we were planning all this. Planning on moving up here, Aaron's like, we have a whole life up there waiting for us of friends, jobs.
There's people
like,
that
are
our friends we don't even know yet that are living their life right now, and they don't even know we're coming. Like, it's crazy. I was like, there's a house that's our house, and somebody else is in it right now.
Right
it's empty, and it's
it's waiting.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about this topic, I'd like to at least go around and see. I'll start with you, Joe, since you like to plan and you kind of have these ideas of like good structure to move forward. What within the next 0 to 3 years, what do you want to accomplish with your home? Like, what kind of home do you want to bring into Portland or establish?
That's like kind of a hard question. I feel like. What do you mean by home? Like a physical space, or do you mean
all of it? You know, like because what you guys are moving here for, right? That feeling of whatever it is that you attracted you.
I think a better way to ask the question would be like, what does home mean for you?
Yeah, but also in relevance to why you're here. What was home about here?
I want to know about the physical, like a hobbit hole with the
that would be my
goats
ideal
outside,
house
and
is a witch house. Okay, but like with weird shaped walls. Okay, first of all,
like a hobbit house.
But yes, but also more witchy.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay.
I'm down.
Adobe feeling though.
Yeah, I love that. I love the Adobe style.
But I think so I am planning on hopefully opening up restaurants for other companies. I feel like that is going to be like kind of, I find that I keep getting put into positions when I work somewhere where I'm training a lot of people because I like to learn how to do a job exactly how you want me to do it. And if I execute it that way, you really can't complain about my job. And you leave me alone. I can then just literally be like a machine, knock it out, do what I need to do, and be that person. So thus being able to work on more of a corporate scale, and then being able to hopefully direct it into a place where we're putting in every restaurant like conscious packaging and like that kind of stuff, and working with like local companies and working with farmers markets and like local what's the word, slaughterhouses? What are they called? Is that it?
Like a butcher.
Thank you. Exactly, butchers and stuff.
That's
like
a nicer tone.
Yeah, that's what I was like, there has to be another one.
Butcher shop.
They're the same thing.
Yeah.
Wait, butcher and slaughter, those are very similar.
Yeah.
The meat store.
It's like connotation versus like the denotation. Yeah. But things like that, and I feel like that'd be really important to implement. And I think people forget that you can like do big things and help the world. And like food and going out and that lifestyle here is very big.
Yeah, that's true.
And it has a huge market for the right companies to implement those things in their lifestyle. They can advertise it and even like play into it. Some people hate that, but it's the truth. You know what I mean? It will bring in certain people, and but it is better for the environment.
And
overall,
this is a good place for it too.
Exactly,
You're coming to a place where everybody's already trying to make some kind of an effort,
exactly,
an impact.
Could use some guidance a lot of the time.
But what I think more than what you're going to be doing
I feel like that. Hold on, I mean, like that's great because I feel like that's what you're like the home thing that I was talking about. You're bringing your skill and this idea of what you want to do into this economy, into this state, into this area, because this is kind of what the area is about. It is about watching, don't frickin' litter, buy local, you know, like trying to change things from the ground floor. And you're right, we do forget that we can change the world. You're absolutely right. I think somewhere along the line, when we're from like 0 to 5, we know that we can change the world.
Right.
And then we get older and we forget, or we're told that we can't, or something
the world
happens.
tells you that your magic isn't real.
Well,
and then you start to believe it.
Yeah, that is the truth.
And you just need to
0
remember.
to
Or my
5 is
black
the sweet
magic.
spot.
But now you can get more specific, babe, about the other part of the question.
No, I more than what you want to do. Like, you guys have been very transient over the past few years, intentionally so. You've been doing Dead Company and Phish tour and traveling around, seeing where you wanted to plant yourselves. And when you think about home, what does that mean for you?
Okay. Well, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. I would say home to me is wherever she is.
Oh,
dude.
Oh,
So honestly,
Okay, that
I've-
was sweet.
and true. I
And
felt
cute.
it.
Yeah, it was real.
He just drops the mic, walks out.
Yeah, get out of here.
Thanks for being
Hey,
with
babe,
us
do you want me to
today.
take this one?
And so, and honestly, being on the road has strength. Like, I knew that before we left, but being on the road has strengthened that to like an impossible amount. And then we got married, and that's just like added a whole nother dimension. And it's just like the best feeling, you know? But then I thought the entire time we were traveling around and visiting all these places, the time we spent here, the time hanging out with y'all, and then the next day hanging out in some nature, like I was saying earlier, having my ass fed to me, and then like
Yeah, Trip will do that to you sometimes. They sneak up on you.
fed to me on a silver platter though. So
Right.
we got there, but and the feeling of the nature out here taking care of me, and
Aww. Yeah.
I know, Joe, man, that
Again, that
Yes.
mom thing, that womb thing,
Yeah.
that when you came back and told us about that, I remember the look in your eye. You know, it was like something
you saw some things.
something affected you on a base level where you were never going to be the same.
never.
I was scared for months, by the way, after that. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. It like was just, people forget that like you walk away with something and it can like shatter your world. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And you have to
Psychedelics
grieve. And like
Yes.
grieving is so hard. And I was like grieving in a different way, because then like the person I knew is now a different person, you know?
Yeah.
And like I love gifts of life and meeting the new you, because I want to know all of the yous, you know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that I'm still like in the dark, because you always want to help your partner. And sometimes you were saying you can't do that sometimes.
With your partners, like, we can hold their hand, but we can't do everything for them. And we honestly can't do anything for them.
Right.
We're there to watch and hand them the water bottle, but they're going to drink it.
Right.
We go grab the pen for them, but they got to write it.
Exactly.
And that's hard to do sometimes when you have a motherly instinct like you do. You know, you have that kind of nurturing desire to care for your partner in a certain kind of way. And I love how you said it earlier, like Joe's like your princess. I understand what you mean.
Absolutely.
I understand what that means. It's you want to take care. When you think of a princess, they're taken care of. Their hair is done. They're like, you know, they get bathed. They
I want to be a princess.
You have no idea.
You are a
Stop
princess.
it. Come
Don't
on.
worry about
I
it.
was just rubbing you up the other day, babe. Come on.
You and Darwin are up for that competing title of princess of the house.
But it's I totally understand that, and it's hard when you are so willing to give everything to your partner, but you can't do everything for your partner.
You can't. And we had to like really grow after those few months.
Quickly.
Very quickly.
Get it together.
Yeah.
That was a whip.
Yeah. It really pushed us forward though. Yeah, for sure.
What were you working through after that or trying to, like, everybody talks about the integration after a trip. What was that process for you like, Joe?
I would say I was grappling. The biggest thing that came from it is that I was scared of everyone, but also wanted to fuck everyone at the same time. And that's my relationship with humans. And so, like, navigating all of that took a lot of understanding that the things that I was feeling were coming from the ways in which I was programmed to feel.
Oh, how you were raised.
Yeah. And
I mean that it's like supernatural, I feel like, for a lot of males who are like meant to be like, you're not friends with women. Like, you actually don't like them. You actually are in love with men, and like some people truly feel that way. Not all men. I'm just saying that you're programmed to only like what boys like, and like you can't like what girls like. So you could never be interested in what a woman has to say because you're not going to understand, or like things like that. Like, you have no idea how many families truly believe those things.
Yeah, so you're being fed that and taught that.
Yeah.
So when you wake up to the reality that it's not like that, it's jarring, to say the least.
Yeah.
And then, like, knowing that there was nothing wrong with the things that were going on, and it was just a part of what I had to do, but not being able to convince my feelings of that.
Oh, like it's the difference between head and heart. It's understanding and knowing. It's two different things. Like, you knew it, but it hadn't, like, do you know what somatics are?
No.
Like, somatics is like your body's response to stuff, right? So somatically, you hadn't responded to the understanding yet. Your emotions hadn't. You hadn't
talking
felt
about earlier. We
the
just
knowledge.
didn't use that word.
You know what I mean? You hadn't felt the knowledge yet.
Wow.
And just because you realize something doesn't mean that your heart is healed.
Yep.
It's like,
wow.
I have new information, but it takes time for that information to filter down through all of my bullshit and defenses and personality and traumas. And
think about eating something. There's so many levels of partaking in this food. First, you cook it, you set it in front of you, you eat it, you chew it. Now it's going into your body. It's not done yet. Just because you're done with the chewing and the cooking, it's still being assimilated, and everything's going into your digestion. Now it's the biles breaking it up, going through your intestines, then you poop it out. This is a long process. Yeah. So the eating part might have happened like, hours ago, and you're just pooping it out the next day.
Or days for some.
Exactly, or days for some. But you know what I'm saying? Like, this is like, sometimes we have unrealistic expectations of how soon we're supposed to put into action what we've learned.
And here's the other part of it that nobody tells anybody else.
What is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic is incredible.
Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil story made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
There's no timetable.
Exactly.
Like, your timeline is cool, no matter what the timeline is. Like, it's okay, no matter what. There's no rush. You're not running a race. Nobody's waiting for you to figure it out. Like, just relax.
Well, I got to tell you something that y'all show did that was really cool. We were on, I believe it, honestly, I really do think it was the 7th day after we had left. And I've got a thing with sevens.
And
I was listening to the episode of y'all's when you had, I'm trying to remember the group. I'll have to
insert band name here.
And y'all were talking about the concept of accepting that you are where you're supposed to be.
Oh yeah.
All the time. And that shit fucking, I'm driving the van. She's in the Civic, so I'm by myself and just like driving on down. And I heard that and was just like, wow, that's fucking crazy. And it led to my first song I'd written in 7 months.
Wow.
Called
Another
Right
7.
Where I Need to Be.
Oh,
Hell yeah, right on, man.
And so that,
Aw.
that shit was just super special. And I feel like I always knew that, but then to have it spoken, to hear it, have it spoken to me was like, oh, yeah, I mean, that makes absolute sense. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
Glad
like
to help.
It's like your interior talk, your self-talk. That's a vibration too, and
Yeah.
you need to hear it. We were speaking whatever the truth was, but it was what you needed to hear. Like we were talking about manifesting earlier. We make things happen all the time.
We're engines. We're
We make
manifesting
things happen
engines.
all the
That's-
time.
That's what all we are.
You did know that, but you needed to outside hear/see it for it to really take place, and then you can start to, like I said a minute ago, respond with the action that's necessary after that knowing.
Yep.
And look at that. You wrote a song. That was an action that was necessary for you to like dialogue on paper what was going on in that dome of yours after that craziness. What a beautiful gift of a song.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's insane.
It's crazy to me to think that like just from you guys coming here once, that then like everything that's happened since, there's so much in between then and now. Like you guys have had an entire lifetime of experience on the road with Phish and the Dead, and you've seen the best and the worst of all of it, right?
For sure.
Like
Every millimeter.
Yeah. We've been a part of the best and the worst as well.
yeah, and
For sure.
that's part of the trip of being on the road.
Yeah.
is being part of that. If you didn't say that, I'd be like, you guys need to stay out there.
Yeah.
Right? You did it wrong.
I
Get in
remember
there.
you guys saying, and you're like, you guys are gonna think this is like some romantic getaway. Just wait.
Yeah,
Oh my,
hard.
yeah.
it's hard, man. And you know, you talked about being afraid of everybody, right? Talk about putting yourself in the line of fire.
Yeah.
Like now you have nowhere to retreat to. You're forced to be around people all the fucking time.
And that's how you work. You work balls out. You did that
Yeah,
with
you
drinking.
did that with your alcohol too.
That's insane. I remember we talked about that at Fish Sticks. That's exactly what you did to help yourself through that hurdle of trying not to drink, was putting yourself in a situation where you're literally handing it over. You have to touch it, literally physically touch it. But then you were literally getting rewarded. People were giving you money. Good job for not taking it, almost.
Right.
Like, good job for passing it on. That's an intense way to learn, Joe.
Have you
and
always
you have
been
to
like that?
you have to give yourself credit, man. I don't know if you do that, but you do have to give yourself credit for. It's like full frontal.
Seriously,
You know?
we would not be in the van at all if it weren't for Joe. I'm the dreamer. I'll be like, oh, wouldn't this be cool? You know? And then next thing you know, we're sitting down and he's like, so I made like a 6 months plan. I can save this much money and we can do it by this time and we can leave by our lease ending, all by himself. Just sitting, like, and mind you, thought about that in hours. Probably.
You're
He probably
the ace in the hole, Joe. Seriously, you're the ace that's like, all right, go ahead, put your cards down. I
and
got
then
you.
it's like a human like calendar, because he'll be like, today we're doing this, this, and this, and I'm the one who has to make the plan on how to do those things. I'll be like, okay, got it. I watched all the YouTube videos, and then we're like about to do it. I'm like, you should probably watch them too, just in case, you know.
A little extra recon when it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm curious, man, like, because I deal with my own level of anxiety with stuff. Mel and I were actually talking about this morning. And how did you navigate that?
Do you? Because I'm sure it doesn't go anywhere, right?
Yeah, it has to be just the understanding. I think one of the greatest things that Tor, thinking about that question kicked up in my head, that Tor has taught me, has been that when I let go of that and give myself into having the interaction with the person, most of the time it's fine. And my body, I've learned to know when my body is telling me this is not fine, and then I can remove myself from that situation. And I think for a long time, probably the time period in between me leaving college and meeting her, I wasn't listening to my body telling me, hey, you shouldn't be around these people, type of thing, and then getting mixed in with crowds that I really had no business being around if I wanted to be growing.
So was it more like you weren't aware of your body signals, or you were like kind of shutting them down or not listening to them?
I think both.
Both.
And alcohol being the,
just completely numbing everything out.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is like way far in advance of the interaction.
Same.
It's like 2 days before, or when I make the plan to go to somebody's house or to do something with somebody, and then I'm like, oh,
it's worry.
Fuck,
That's what worry is.
I have to do this thing with this person. What are we going to talk about? Like, what if it gets quiet?
I hate that. Tell me about it. I will literally be also like short beforehand to the people I love dearly. And I'll just
because you're nervous.
Yeah. And I won't even know it, because I didn't know agitation can be a form of anxiety at all. Because I was just like, I just was raised by agitated people. So everyone was just probably
it was
anxious.
Just normal.
Everyone was anxious all of the time, and just no one knew.
That's how everybody acts, right?
Yeah. So I thought that was normal, but it's not. So Joe would be like, it's okay, and they're still going to like you. Like who doesn't like you?
Joe,
you're fine, or whatever, but it's easier said than done.
I have to say again, thank you. You're really helping to explain a lot of things. Just even by that, saying that agitation, that's exactly what how it manifests for him. He gets agitated and just kind of short-tempered, and maybe he's not being mean. He just is like his behavior changes. Yeah. It just changes. It's like, oh, hey, what's going on? Next thing you know, it's like, yep, nope. And just
it gets short with
it's
us.
It's like I only have 4 things I can focus on, and now one of them is this event. So because it's an event, it's not just like a hangout. It's an event, and so something else has to drop. And
you're a Sagittarius too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So something else had to drop, and it was being
manners.
Yeah. Exactly.
Manners.
Yeah. Manners dropped.
Or being nice or whatever. Yeah. I'm not being mean though either. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got lost.
Your ability to stay chill, or relax.
Like Joe will take like the wrong direction if I'm late. I was late, by the way, because I misread an email, and I was like, why are you in the fucking slow lane? Like, why are you in the slow lane? You know what I mean? I'm late.
Damn it.
So please risk hitting our house or hurting our home, to get me to this thing on time. So it just is that way sometimes.
I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
It's crazy, like when you realize that it's a thing, right? And I'm trying to be more conscious of it, like aware of it when it's happening, and be like, oh, I'm operating out of my anxiety right now.
Right.
Like we made plans with some people, and they invited us to their house, and my initial reaction is like, nope.
Exactly.
Because I don't want to
go through all
that weird fucking state.
Or I'll pretend like I don't like them all of a sudden, and I love them.
I don't do that.
I do that. So I'll be like, I don't know. They're loud, or like I don't know. I can't handle that kind of laughter tonight, or like they have dark humor. I'll make something up,
And like I noticed that I was doing it, and Mel was just like, no, well, we're going.
Because one day he's like, this is a statement. we're going to such and such's house to have dinner. The very next day, yeah, we're not going.
Yeah, I was witness.
What even happened in between? Did you talk? Did
She's
you talk
like,
to
why
them?
not? I'm like, I don't know.
I don't.
Did
right.
you? Well, then I'm like, did you talk to them? No. And then
He just made the decision.
Well, and then all of a sudden it's on me to communicate when he made the plans. Did you text that person back? No, I didn't, because you're the one who made the plan.
You guys are looking at each other. What's the look?
It's the Libra and Sagittarius.
Yep.
Yeah.
This sounds all too familiar.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. But it's
So I wasn't going to let him off the hook is the point. I was like, no, we're doing this because you really do want to.
I do want to go.
Yeah, he was excited when he brought it up the other day.
And I'd be sad, like,
and then
at
not
the day after, be like, that was really stupid.
Just to stay home and do it.
Should have gone.
Dumbass.
I like rather stay home. I don't know. You can come to my house, you know. But then also, I don't like hosting because then I'm in control of the conversation, and then like, do I have to ask if you want drinks or am I? I don't know the rules.
Yeah.
So I don't like them. If I don't know, how can I control the situation if I don't know how it's supposed to go?
You can also have a specific standard. I will ask drinks. I will provide snacks.
Yeah, I'm
and that
gonna have a list.
Yes.
And be like, you can pick a number.
Since you like
and I will-
structure. Well, no, since you like structure, I feel like there's a way to, what's the word? Like hack your insecurities or anxieties. I do with planning because Aaron is a very big planner, and you like to plan, and there's something about structure that you can hang on to where your anxiety can hang on to that. Like it's almost like your anxiety's roping onto that structure, and then you can just be your normal self. Like, okay, anxiety, you're going to be here. Well, then pay attention to this.
I want to make it
That
gone.
makes sense.
So, right. So like, okay, as an example, someone's going to come to your house and it's like, oh man, Aaron and Melanie are coming. Like, they're cool, but I get this anxiety. All right. I'm going to have these cute drinks already ready. I'm going to have some chips.
They got to be cute drinks, though.
Yeah.
They got to be cute.
That's
Can't
me.
be
And
though.
that's it. But those are your two anchors. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you focus on getting ready and like getting all spazzy about.
The key is though to make those things accessible. So like you can just make a picture of a drink, and if they want it, they want it. They don't have to have it.
There it is.
You know, and like
Yeah.
having snacks that are like always ready to go. You know I wasn't a hosting household as a kid, so I didn't like doing that.
Yeah.
But I do like hanging out with people, and I just need to make it more accessible for me, because if it's out, I'm probably not going to go. I just don't want to. Or it has to be like, I have to be like in a really good mood that day, usually.
Mm-hmm.
I just like really have a hard time sticking through, and especially if it's just me. That's where like that codependency becomes an issue for me. If Joe wants to go, I am all in. Yeah, baby, I got you. I will be that person, you know? But as soon as it's like, I'm supposed to make this friend,
Oh.
I'm cool. I don't need it, you know? 'Cause
Although
I'd rather...
In Denver, it didn't go that way. It was the opposite.
You're right. And it wasn't that bad, I guess.
Yeah.
It wasn't that.
And that's the thing. Like what you said about being on tour. 99.9% of the time, the interaction is completely fine. And okay, here's another dumb one. Like the phone. When the phone rings, I don't care who it is, except for Mel. She is the only. She and Apple. They're exempt.
And the kids.
Yeah. I'm like, fuck. Like I could, it's a literal feeling in my chest and solar plexus. Like there's somebody calling me.
What could they want?
Yeah. And like every phone conversation is totally fine. Always, forever.
There's no reason to
There's
be
no reason to feel like
worried.
that. But it's like some weird
Wired. You're
I
wired.
feel you on that
broken
one, though.
switch that, yeah. And I'm just trying to be more conscious of it. Like I haven't figured out how to make it go away, but like
Right.
when it happens, I'm like, oh, that's that thing.
And that's where I remember you telling me that. You're like, I'm nervous when my phone's not ringing at the anticipation of it could ring any minute and somebody's going
Right.
to want something.
Wow.
Dude, that's
Do
Like,
you... How does it feel? Like, where does it manifest for you?
Solar plexus right here.
So, like, your actual nervous system
yeah,
right here.
yeah.
Like, I know some people put ice packs, but like that seems a
I
little
have to
extra
walk around
for
with
me.
an ice pack.
Right,
now.
that's the thing.
Frozen.
And it's like, and like the accessibility of that. as well? Like you're not going to be out.
No.
Well, I mean,
right.
I mean, if we're
Ready to
getting
go.
all hoo-hoo and witchy, then you just put your
Black magic.
hand. That's that black magic. You put your hand on your solar plexus as a calming. Sorry, guys.
It's a calming what?
To calm yourself down.
Yeah, well, earlier because
Yeah.
like
It's an acknowledgement of your body's signal.
I didn't
and-
realize that's what I was doing
Somatic response.
because
Yes.
earlier we
Yeah.
were like talking about a hard trip that I had,
Yeah.
and I like started getting that weird shaky where I get like I feel like I'm shaking, but I'm not
like
shaking.
palpitations almost.
In a way, yeah. And then I was like, maybe I'm just cold. So I put my hands under my arms to put pressure here, and then it was fine. Like I started feeling better all of a sudden, and then I thought, like I was
That's
like,
a
am I
comfort.
just?
That's a comforting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like it makes me think of like
Too.
Superstar. where
Yes.
Sometimes I do my hands like
Superstar.
this.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
think about for a minute, like I won't even say a 24-hour period, in a day, 12 hours. How many decisions are made because of our neuroses or like incorrect
Yeah.
programming, I should say,
Yeah.
where we're not even conscious that those
That's why you're.
programs are running, and
Right.
it's this like choose your own adventure of outcomes that would have never happened had the program not been bad in the first place.
Yeah.
And catching those programs when they start to run, even if I can't make it stop, right? Like call it out in my head. Hey, you're just feeling anxious because you're wired weird, right? Pick up the phone, stupid, or whatever I need to
Right.
say to myself.
You know, that comes with consciousness, because you're talking about you're creating these habits because they're there. Like you don't even realize that they're there. But when you're calling them out, now you're being conscious that you have that habit and you're calling it out. So that's a big thing for a lot of people, because not a lot of people realize why they're behaving like that. They don't know why they're getting that palpitation. They don't understand why when somebody invites me, they're like happy and then mortified at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those,
Mhm.
it comes with a lot of self-understanding is what I'm saying. you
They
know?
also say saying it out loud, like to yourself, even will make you feel better. Saying I'm nervous. There was like a study, mind you, this was on Reddit, and I did not check where it was sourced, so this could totally be bullshit. But
Okay.
they
Go
were-
ahead, tell us your bullshit study.
All right.
With the no
But they were
facts to
saying,
back it up.
like your pulse would like go down significantly within like a few seconds after you admitted that you were feeling that way.
Oh, for yourself.
Yeah.
I tell you that where we've talked about that on the show. It
About
came up
tripping.
a while ago. But about me and Mel talking to ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
Like why are you talking to yourself? I really need to vocalize stuff. I
Yeah.
can't keep it inside of me.
Me too.
And most recently with like recovering from surgery with like severe pain,
Jehoshaphat.
like everybody knows that if you're in bed with the stomach ache, it helps to go
Moaning, yeah.
to vocalize and make noise. And then the same thing like you're talking about.
Right.
It
Call yourself out.
really helps
So
to vocalize it
being
and
anxious,
get it
I hum.
out.
I hum sometimes, and we'll be like, or like a little doll, because like it's literally traveling through this space. You know what I mean? You're pulling
Yes.
it from that, like almost like letting it out.
Right.
Another thing you can do is just a silly thing that I do when I really don't want to do something. You make it into a stupid song, whether it's
all
in
the
your head or you
time.
say
Yep.
like you made plans, you hang
Yeah.
you're immediately like gonna have to drive down the stupid freeway, going to the play, whether it's in your head or vocal, and then it makes it silly, and then you realize how silly the whole thing is. Kind of.
I
if
do that when
makes
I do
sense.
embarrassing
Kind of
stuff.
like okay, hell yeah.
Yeah, like when I've messed stuff up, I'll be like, I just hit my head. on the
Everybody saw it. They think I'm a klutz. So.
I want to make a hard left because we were talking about home in the beginning.
Oh wow!
And I
Home is where the anxiety is.
that's yes. We know Aaron's home, but Apple, I want to hear your own idea, not like where
Yeah.
your home was from. We all know you had your home,
From
but
Vegas,
like
grew up in LA.
what does it mean when you come like back home here, or your idea of it?
I'd say in one word for me, like one. Not you're saying one word, but it all comes down to comfort.
I knew it. I knew it.
It where you're comfortable, no matter, and that can mean anything. Where you know, to your pillows, to where you don't feel agitated, to the people that are there, to whatever it is, it's feeling comfortable, which also leads to that thing of not wanting to leave home.
Right.
So when you're comfortable at home, no matter where that is, whatever physical building, or even out in a van or in nature, whatever. Feeling at home, you can be yourself more and let everything down. And then you don't want to leave that place, which makes what we were talking about, like going and doing things. I do that with almost every show we go to. I've gotten better and tried not to think like I'm not putting any expectations on them, blah, blah, but it always happens. You may be able to do that for weeks leading up to it. And then like the last hour crunch time, it's like, I don't feel good. I think I'm fucking.
Isn't not putting an expectation on something prior putting an expectation on it? You're putting an expectation of not put an expectation.
An expectation of no expectation. Yeah, like, and then you're screwed there. But yeah, that's what home to me really is where you're completely comfortable with the emotions, physical, mental, everything.
I agree. And I think that's why I didn't really understand your question earlier. It's because like I've had a traveling home for so long that I can't imagine like my home not being you. So I feel that way no matter where I am. So that's why like the only thing that could make something like a home or like stable or consistent is like a job to make it that space.
Yeah, to kind of anchor you down.
Ground you somewhere, because everything else I can do anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
So your home is with you and Joe.
Yeah. Like we
you're each other's roots.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love you.
Lame.
What about you, babe?
Don't put that pressure on me.
What about me? What?
Apple's home is comfort. Joe and Joe have each other for that home feeling, and of course, whatever else they said.
Babe.
Don't start with me. Don't you placate me, sir. I feel like that is kind of like unspoken. Like,
yeah, no, I say that kidding, but not. But that's a really hard question.
For you.
Yeah, it's tough. It's where I can relax. It for me. And not it doesn't have to do with being like a comfortable couch or pillows, or it could be a concrete bench. That's fine. It's like where the noise of the world goes away, where the noise in my head goes away, and I can breathe. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, I mean, coming here, you said you felt home.
Yeah.
All those things that you just said.
Yeah. When we lived in Vegas, it was constant. It was like a constant onslaught of like negative self-talk.
Right.
And uncomfortable living conditions because it's fucking hot there.
Yeah.
And it was like having to always run a race and not being able to stop to take a breath. Like
definitely competitive.
Infinite just running. And when we got here, that feeling of like being able to figuratively and literally breathe was so fucking foreign. I was just like, what the fuck?
Like disorienting.
Yeah.
Almost.
And then like having my situation of like work and home altered to the point where like I liked it. I didn't know what to do. Like, it was like, what? That you can do this? Like, people feel happy? It changed everything. You know?
I do know.
So, yeah, for me, it's where the noise goes away. where the
outside chatter
commotion
and
stops, everything just stop.
We've got a good bubble around our house.
Oh, this
How
house
many
is
people
fucking
say
dope.
that?
For
It's like I
sure.
feel it like
Dope.
coming up the street and then you come
Yeah.
up the driveway. There's
That
a bubble.
driveway. Also, I would like run that driveway sometimes.
Yeah.
That's a good steep driveway.
It's a great driveway for your butt.
Yeah.
It's also very dangerous because it's
ice.
it's
got
unstable.
that shit on.
Also, just like rocks too,
Yeah.
like little gravel.
the
like
moss,
you can really
the
mess
rock-
yourself
there's-
up.
there's
that
a
was
lot
the
of
word
But
I
I've
was
done
looking
that.
for. It's not shit. It's moss.
The moss. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're wearing the raw, like Birkenstocks can be pretty tricky, but
I like your Birkenstocks better
be
than mine, by the
careful.
way.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Well, what makes a home for you, Mel?
Oh gosh, I mean that is a really great question.
It's tough, man.
It's
Yeah.
a
and
tough
that got
thing
me a
to.
little emotional too.
Yeah, it's a tough thing to think because I feel like after I became a mother, home definitely meant something different than before I was a mother. And also since I've been a mom, it's changed I think of home, I think of all of us being together, but then also my children are not together here. So I still
Right.
feel at home. So that
Right.
all together isn't true as well, you know,
Right.
like, I guess,
Where we can all be together. How about that?
yeah, like
Yeah.
it's important for me to create a container, whatever the container looks like. This is just where you guys are at. This is what our container looks like now, but
Black magic.
it's a that's right. But it's a repeating
illusion.
thing. Like the feeling of this house was the feeling of the house in Las Vegas before we moved. It was the feeling of the house that our first home that we bought. Like it's creating a space where more than myself feels comfortable.
Yeah, well, you almost have like 1,000 different families.
We
You know
do.
what I'm saying?
We
yeah.
do. And
So
I
you're
embrace it.
facilitating, like, it's not just like your family, but like your other family, you have now a facility for that.
Yes.
For all families. Like, we feel at home here. Like, when we come in,
That's it right
that's
there.
normal,
if
you know?
if somebody that doesn't live here every single day comes here and feels like home, that's what makes me feel at home.
Mm-hmm.
Because I always feel like if you had to live here, you could. Not that you
Right.
want to or that you need to, but if you had to, you could. But you'd work right in.
Right.
And there have been people that have come here and you can tell that they don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And then there's also people that have been here. They're like, I freaking love it here. It's just so easy to be here. And so like, it feels good here.
Relaxing.
And that's what I guess that feeling makes me feel at home.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will never forget walking up y'all's driveway for the first time and just like coming around the corner, there you are hanging out there, and just immediately it's like slaps you in the face. We take one step inside and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
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 I told Mel
Wild.
last night, I was like, the kids are coming home tomorrow.
He did say that.
And we just like to slap people in the face.
Right, right.
Darwin's
Welcome.
You know
Look,
what?
man, where people can feel accepted, that's the kind of place I want to facilitate.
Yeah.
That right there.
Heard fucking that.
You can fucking, if you got to go to the bathroom, go do it. You need to do your laundry, go do it. You need to take a quick shower, go do it. You're
Right.
hungry, go. Like, I don't need to like, kind of like on to your point, I don't need to bring the drinks out for you to know
Right.
that you need to have a drink. Go
Right.
do it. Go get a drink. Go look in the your fridge. Go ahead. Yeah, you need a microwave. Go for it. I want that level of comfort for people when they come here because I thrive off of that. It feeds me,
well,
you know?
Yeah.
It's what
are-
makes us comfortable
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
When you have company that's completely comfortable, it takes the pressure off of
Really?
having to be that host or
Right.
something. Just like we got all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Help yourself to everything. If you
Yeah.
have any questions, ask. I just want to hang out with you. And now
Yeah.
we can concentrate on enjoying each other's company.
Time, yeah.
And
for you,
do
Mel,
you.
like your whole Eunice is
Eunice.
yeah, it's
I like having a Eunice.
it's a nurturing thing. You're an esthetician, you're a mom, you're a wife, you know what I mean?
Granny.
That's your thing. So that makes sense that's what home
When I
means.
worked at the spa, my literal favorite thing in the entire world was to get ready for my next client.
Mhm.
That was my favorite thing to do. when I opened the door and looked back at the room with the clean sheet and like everything looked like nothing had ever been touched. And if there was like
10
one little
minutes
thing
later, it was all blown up.
Yeah, blown up. There's freaking mask on the floor. There's like shovels of freaking product everywhere. But having that somebody be able to come in and feel like this is for them, that right there. And like when the kids come home, I love that. I love having something special for them or just whatever. Having quiche and blueberry muffins. That kind of stuff. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, should. You guys deserve it.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like we're in so many different places of our walks of life. Like we might be, like you mentioned earlier, in a grieving process. We might be in a transient phase. Right. We might feel just depleted.
We might be healing.
Right? And so all of that stuff, if you can feel comfortable and feel special, then I feel like my report card says A.
A+, baby.
That's it.
A++. And
that's on my own.
Extra credit.
Yeah, but that's like even on my own. I don't need somebody to tell me. I just feel like, okay, this is what occurred and I feel good about that.
So,
you know?
Before we go, what's next for you guys? You're doing Seattle Phish.
Yep.
Yay.
So pumped.
And then what? What's the plan, Stan?
Finding the place. Yeah. Like actually like doing our honeymoon and then moving everything back to Ohio. From Ohio. Sorry. Thank you. Jeez.
Yeah, you don't
I don't want to go back.
No. Goodbye.
Yeah.
But you do, I mean, in a sense, you're right.
I do have to be there, yeah.
Your road life is with you. You got to take that back to Ohio to go get the rest of everything to bring out here.
Yeah, but that's going to be really nice to have like actually all of our stuff.
That's in August, you guys, or?
June.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we have like wedding gifts that we haven't been able to use because we
are on the road.
Yeah, so that's exciting. Yeah. I have a stand mixer that I haven't used in a long time.
Oh shit!
So
it's about to go down.
It's about you guys are gonna get lots of bread.
I'm excited. I'm so excited to be neighbors.
I feel a competition heating up here. If there's not, I'm gonna start it.
Apple.
Yeah, between the two, because Aaron's all into that too. We're gonna have to have some competition here.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, Christmas is gonna be good this year.
You know what, Betty? I'm sorry. Collaboration.
There you go. Thank you.
I like that. Yeah. But we really know. No.
Yeah, we know who's better.
So look, at the end of the day, here's what it boils down to. If you're having a hard time out there, if you're struggling, reach out to somebody here. If you don't have anybody in your immediate circle that, you know, is a support system for you, we're here. You can reach out through the DMs on Instagram. I will personally answer. I answer all of them for real. And
that's how we got here.
Yeah. And if you don't want to do it on Instagram, you can always send an email to nosimpleroad@gmail.com. And the three of us actually read all those emails. So,
yeah, we do.
We get very excited about this.
I like to say one last thing. I feel like we do a really good job of creating home on the air.
Okay.
Yes. For fucking sure.
That's
and
one.
A car.
Yep. Right. Because even after we've recorded a show and I listen back to the show, I feel like I'm home.
Have you
listening to the show.
Have you tripped yet and listened to an episode?
No, we haven't done that still.
So weird.
Maybe we should do it on Seattle.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
So
I'll just put it on.
The whole time we've been talking about home, the weirdest, stupidest song has been playing in my head.
I'm coming.
No. You wouldn't get this one in a million years. It's the Nevada State song.
Home means Nevada, home means the hills,
home means the sage and the pines. Yes, that has been playing in my head the whole time we've been talking.
Wow. Okay, that is
silvery rills out where the sun always shines. There is a land that I love the best, fairer than all I could see. That's it.
Okay, you remembered further than I did. That's I remember having to sing that
in fourth or fifth grade.
And a whole class of 30 kids all off tune singing home means
welcome to Portland.
Welcome home, guys.
Thanks for being our neighbors. We're super excited to break the whole I don't want to say ice. There's no ice to be broken, but like
to welcome you home.
Yeah, to welcome you guys home.
Yeah. I'm coming home. So yeah, like I said, if you're having a hard time, reach out. No need for anybody out there to struggle on their own. That's just silly.
Yeah.
And if you're like, I feel weird about doing it. Stop it. All right. That's enough of that. Just do it and you'll feel better when you're done. I promise. Darwin did it and look what happened. He got a home forever.
He did.
Another
reach
thing
out.
that'll make you feel better too is to get a stand mixer. Join this baking bread thing that's going on across the country.
Hell yeah.
Because it really had a resurgence during the pandemic. People started
sourdough starters.
Started doing a lot of stuff. So make me bread. It'll make you feel better.
All right, you guys. We will be back on Friday with another episode. This Friday is the one and only Natalie Cressman from Trey Anastasio Band, and that is part of our lead up to Skull and Roses Festival.
That's right.
If you were on the fence about going to Skull and Roses, here's the deal: get off the fence, come hang out with us.
Hanging out on the fence hurts.
April 19th through the 23rd.
Yeah, and,
come on out to Ventura, sunny.
2 nights of
Ventura,
Phil Lesh
California.
and friends, O'Teal. Dark Star Orchestra,
Melvin
Steve
Seals and
Allen,
the JGB,
Dogs in a Pile,
Latin Dead,
Cubensis,
Boomerang. Come on,
Boomerang.
Boombox, Boomerang, Boombox.
Jerry's Stinky Sock. I don't know. Anyway, you guys get the
They'll
picture.
all be there.
Come hang out with us. It's going to be fun. And then until next time, smile is strange.
What's
safety
Attila?
Attila
the Hun.
What?
Next time. Yeah. Smile is stranger, safety third, hydrate, and you know what?
Carini.
All of the
That's
pictures.
the opener. That's the opener.
Okay,
that's a good opener.
That's the one I say.
Hang on. All the pictures in your house have been the same forever. Take this week.
How you know?
Because, man, I know stuff.
Okay, you're just
take this week and pick 3 pictures in your house to swap out with other ones. It'll make you feel better. It's springtime. It'll make the house feel fresh. Okay?
Okay.
3 pictures.
All right.
Fine.
I like that.
I love that.
Love you
Hell
guys.
yeah.
Peace.
Peace.
But it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? Just one simple road. Shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hey listeners, I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
Hi, this is Paul Phelps.
And this is Monica Strutt.
And we're from the Daily Music Business Podcast. We're joined by a number of other really great hosts in creating daily content with great advice for independent musicians just like you.
That's right. We put out episodes daily on all topics from music marketing to branding, advice on signing with a manager and label, and anything else you need to up-level the business side of your music career. We've got it covered.
Subscribe to the Daily Music Business Podcast today on your favorite podcast catcher.
Subscribe today to the Daily Music Business Podcast on your favorite podcast platform.